if somebody wanted to vote, okay, what is the process they need to go through so they can register to vote and be ready to vote when voting time comes?
Very good. Now, first and foremost, I want to direct your attention to the importance of being registered to vote. Now, registering to vote, living in the digital age that we are in today, has made it a lot easier to gain access to vote. We have that of IndianaVoters.com, which is our state agency portal to get you registered to vote. Now, also, you can download that of the federal form, which you can use, which is going to be great as far as getting you going. But you can also do that of voter registration within your local county clerk's office. Now, in means as far as how you register to vote is also important to identify who can vote. Do not let anyone who says felons cannot vote feel like they have no voice. Felons can vote. And the only restrictions for felons that can't vote are if you're currently incarcerated. If you are free, you are free. So be free to use your voice. Don't let anybody tell you just because you're a felon you cannot participate in the process. Your voice matters in those certain areas. Now, regarding the overall basis as far as how you get registered to vote, and then when it comes time to do early voting, do absentee voting, or the day of election vote, it is very important that you have a form that is government issued ID. And yes, it has to have a photo ID on it. With that, it can be that of your driver's license, your passport, a military ID. And if, for instance, maybe you're a college student, you meet all the credentials I've mentioned before, it can be that of a student ID. But I promise it is better to have that of the first two options. I will also indicate too that if it is a government issue ID, your actual address may not be correct on it, don't let them stop you. Still ask if they give you any troubles for a provisional ballot. No voice should ever be left out on election day. That leads into the points when we have harsh voter ID restriction laws that we need to know about those struggles. And when I say we, it is that of the county clerks, the Secretary of States that are identifying these issues, and also those elected officials that can make legislative changes to greater amplify your voice.
In your opinion, what would you say to people who, you know, you hear people say this all the time, well, my vote doesn't matter anyway, it doesn't matter if I vote, it doesn't matter, they already figured out who the president's going to be, or they're going to fix it anyway. So what would be your response? What would you say to those people who feel like that about voting?
Okay, so for anyone that feels like their voice does not matter, it is my obligation, because I see the power of voting, to do anything and everything in my power to teach you how you are connected to the legislative process. What that legislative process means, that is your voice within the vote, that you see that every aspect from the day you're born to the day you die, that there has been some governance that has dictated your life. Already in society, we feel as if we've been marginalized, or the people that are putting laws in place don't reflect me and the overall well-being that I want in my life. But the key behind making you feel like my voice does not matter is to help encourage you to not just stop on election day. There's so much more that's behind the vote. Did you not maybe realize that votes take place in the interim when there's committee meetings that are taking place? Did you not realize that your voice can actually make educational impacts by being a part of a school board, which we know has not the same calendar as a state or a city county level? Your vote is so important. And if you don't fill it with the candidates, What are you doing to help inspire those leaders you see in the community to have the encouragement to put their name on the ballot? All of that is all in the realm of making sure I'm not going to give up and settle for the status quo that your vote does not matter. I've been very fortunate within my life to see that it was through movements and social movements that made me identify that if I want change for my people, I need to know what's going on in the everyday lives of the homes, to the laws that are being implemented, who's implementing the laws, and what organizations do we align with to help make those change. That's the key of advocacy. We don't just settle, we move and we make change. And also, I have that of learning of the rich heritage of our African American lives, where I have a family member that was a freedom rider. Her story's similar to mine. At the time, she was 22 years old, college student down at Tennessee State. And because she felt like more people can be inspired by being a part of the process or having voter education, she got locked up being a freedom rider. Spent 44 days in jail. But she never lost her character. But look at the blessings and sacrifices that have been provided for us to be able to vote and have our voice today. So I cannot stress enough, it is so important to vote. And one thing I can say, and it can be that of maybe an initiative we all need to do, increase more of the voter education to align with that of the campaigns that are happening. What are we doing to make sure that of the candidates that are on the ballot are providing that of a progressive viewpoint of how they need us after Election Day? So again, I will never settle for my voice doesn't matter, because I will do everything to empower you to know it does.